Welcome to Moon Harbor Heroes. Today's issue is Blinky and the Brian, Issue 1, School's Out. On the cover, we see Blue Samurai in full costume, glowing with neon lights. He holds his sword at the ready. Beside him, we see a blocky robot with glowing red eyes and a frowning emoticon displayed on a screen. The two of them stand in an abandoned school hallway, blue-purple laser beams narrowly missing them. In the bottom right corner, we see a silver embossed logo in bold letters, Blockade. We turn the page and our story begins.
Al, you are going to be one of the last people left in the school. Why are you still in the school?
Are we talking about from last time?
Pretty close to the events of last time. School's back up and running. You know, there's just almost no one left. You're here late one day after school. Why are you here?
I could make it really dumb and just say I didn't hear the bell ring.
If you want to go with that?
I'm going to go with that. I'm going to say I was in the bathroom, my cochlear implant was shut off, and I just didn't hear the bell ring. And so now I'm a little spooked because the school's empty and where are my friends?
Okay, and so, we've got you a couple panels of you walking down, mostly empty halls. You see a couple doors closing, and then we're going to get you go into your locker to, clean it out, get ready to head home for the day. And when you open your locker, that is when, in ripping red letters, you see in the back of your locker, can't clean the streets without some blood.
Oh, that's right. I imagine that seeing this, I'm kind of shocked. Like, who's leaving these threatening messages in my locker? Especially I'm gonna touch it, and is it blood or is it paint?
When you go and lift it to look at it, we get a panel with you sniffing it, and you just go, ketchup?
Well, seeing as it is ketchup, I'm gonna dab my tongue against it just to make sure it's ketchup,
Confirmed.
And then I'm gonna pull out my handy dandy little flip phone and send a text to Asimov and be like, "Hey, I just got a ketchup note in my locker."
You get a text back saying, "I'm almost home. Just wait."
Okay, but this is kind of important. It's ketchup. It says it's a threat.
And at that moment, Al, you hear the intercom system in the school flip on, and you hear low crackling static for a few moments. And then you hear just a hearty chuckle, and it's time you learn a lesson. And then we see on in all the windows in the hallway behind you, just this shimmering purple blue energy on the outside of the windows just snap into place.
How big are the lockers?
How big are they?
Hopefully big enough that I can get inside of one and change into my costume.
Excellent. Cool. With the panel of you, in changing, popping out of a locker. And go ahead and introduce us. What's that panel look like? What do you look like full costume?
It's like a ninja skin tight black suit with neon blue lights coming up the sides of it, and I kind of just jump out, samurai sword in hand, and I'm looking around. I'm crouched down because obviously some shit's about to go down.
What's the sword look like?
So it's a very traditional Japanese samurai sword. It's the usual size. It's nothing too big. It's bright blue, just like the stripes on my costume, and the handle is the cloth that they wrap around it is the same black as my suit as well, but it's still glowing actually. Even the black is emitting some sort of weird ethereal.
Excellent. And then the blade itself.
So you can very obviously tell that it's made of a steel, but it's like a blue tinted steel, and it glows as well. I like the thought that I'm just my identity, my secret, me as a person is a very dull, baggy, edgy kid, but then my costume is very bright and lots
straight
of
up cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I love that aesthetic. Okay. So the panel of you checking out the hallway, and it sounds like you are trying to assess the situation. So go ahead and roll plus superior.
Oh.
A 14.
Wow!
I'm gonna take the time to just dab real quick. So excuse me for a moment.
Okay. On a 10 plus, ask 2.
I feel like the best question to ask is how could we best end this quickly, but not in like a concern for the others, in like a I'm better than you kind of way. Like this isn't worth my time.
Okay, you're hearing this voice come over the intercom system, and you, as someone who goes to the school, know there's like a central place for that. Where is that? Like, where's the central room to access the intercom?
I would assume it's in like the principal's office because the principal's usually the one who makes the announcements in the morning.
Perfect. So if the person doing all this is there, that'd be a good place to go.
All right,
what do you want your other question to be?
Let's think. What here can I use to defeat whatever's threatening me? Besides like my usual kit. Like I'm gonna look around, gather my stocks, like see if anybody left a locker open, like a baseball kid left his locker open and it has like some
looking
padding
around directly, you don't see anything directly around you that might help, but you do know that this school has a really well-stocked robotics lab with a lot of projects there that do odd things. You might be able to find something useful there.
All right, that's sure. I'll head there.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
So yeah, I would like to go to the electronics lab and see if I can find anything that will help me in some way, shape, or form detain the person, because like I'm edgy, but I'm not a villain. So like I want to like beat him up, but I don't want to like kill him.
So yeah, we're gonna get a panel view. There's a hallway with. We're gonna just plastically label like one pointing towards principal's office, one towards the robotics lab, and you dash down the hall towards the robotics lab, and then we're gonna cut to Brian arriving home. Brian, what does your place look like? Let's get like an outside shot of your home. Oh wait, you're in that same penthouse, right?
Right, I'm in that big building where Max lives. I think we said a couple floors down from him.
Perfect. Maybe we get an outside shot and like see Amber climbing down the side of it at this point.
You have a panel where basically the door just slams open and you don't even see a person come in. It's just motion lines going straight up the stairs. And, you know, as like mom saying, "Hey, how's your day?" And no response. Stomp, stomp, stomp up the stairs. Or, wait, would there be stairs? I guess it's a really big apartment.
You can have stairs.
Let's say there's
2 floors.
stairs.
Fine.
Yeah.
We all rich.
Yep. So I go up the stairs. You don't. And then there's just a panel of his forehead and some kind of visor coming down on it. And then we cut to the school. And somewhere in the robotics lab, a little thing that looks like a very blocky sort of machine. At first, it just looks like a bunch of metal boxes against the side of the wall, but then its eyes light up and
I'm going to stop you there. Its eyes blink to life and then go dim, and I need you to roll to unleash your powers.
All right.
So roll plus freak. You're running up against a kind of firewall that is blocking your access that you've never seen before. Like, this is just the languages this programmed in just aren't even familiar to you. The very structure of it doesn't even feel human. Okay, on a 7 to 9, on a hit, you do it. On a 7 to 9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Definitely a condition, but which one? I am going to take insecure because I can't imagine how that, or the coding seemed very strange. I feel little.
It feels so strange to you. It feels like the little bits of remnant code you found after. What is your shame's name?
Oh dear. Maybe I'm gonna have to take guilty instead.
It's not the same type of code, but it's the same that alien type. It's so different. It doesn't look like it's even based in human thought.
Right. That was Dijkstra.
I think we get a couple panels. You frantically typing. How's this look? What do these panels look like? as you're overcoming this?
Just a frame centered on the hands, still not showing the character's face. It just clickety clackety away, and speech bubble saying, "What is this? Could it be?"
Excellent. And I think from there, we're going to cut to Al entering the robotics lab. Al, what are you doing upon entering?
So I'm gonna immediately enter, and using, I assume I have some pretty good eyes. I have pretty good eyesight, yeah. And I'm gonna like look around and be like, what can I see here?
Are
that
you
is-
keeping the lights off? Are you kind of doing this sneakily? Or are you just flipping the lights on and like wildly searching?
I'm actually gonna get rid. I'm gonna because the neon lights on my suit and my sword come from the psychic power that I'm exerting, like the pressure I'm exerting, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna kind of like dim that down a little,
Okay.
so that I can see closely, but it could just look like a computer screen is like lighting up the room, because I don't want
Okay, so
whoever
you're
this-
emitting like a bubble of light around.
I don't want the villain to like know I'm in here, because I'm trying to be sneaky boy.
Perfect. So we get a panel view starting to like, peer around the room with your own glow. And then what color are the eyes that light up, Brian? Or Asimov, sorry.
I'd say they're red, but I'd also like to say that it's behind him,
Excellent.
and it slowly creeps up behind him, slightly towering over him.
Okay, so as a response to that, because I'm on edge, like I'm straight up not having a good time, bro. So like I assume I would hear something creaking, I would turn around, and I'd like get the sword up ready to strike, and I hope as I'm going into swing, Asimov would say something to me before I cut down this
yes.
robot.
Yeah.
Ow!
Asimov?
What's going on here?
There was like an energy outside, and I got a threat in my locker. It said, I sent you the text. It said, you can't clean up the streets without a little bit of blood. It was written in Ketchup for some reason. I think they're in the principal's office.
And at that
Whoever's-
moment, we get a booming voice over the intercom yelling, "Come out and play! Face what you've done!" And we see just flashing lights of just energy beams blasting down the hallways. What do you do?
I'm gonna look at the blasting light and like gesture to Asimov and be like, "Do you see this?" Like, kind of like comically, like just point with both hands. Are the energy like shots like anywhere near me at all, or are they just in that hallway?
They seem to be wildly firing down the hallway that you just seen them blast past the door.
Okay, cool. So I probably haven't been seen yet.
Right.
Okay, so being
Actually, go ahead and roll to assess the situation. You're kind of taking this on.
Oh man, that's way worse than my first roll.
What's your superior?
My superior? Let me pull that up. Sorry, it's rough. Superior is +2. Oh,
Okay,
I forgot to add
so-
a +2.
That brings you to a 9. You all have one team to start. Asimov, if you want to use that. If not, that's fine.
I'll spend a team.
Okay, so how are you helping Al assess? I was just like checking out, like, what are you doing now? You're just scanning the room, looking at the lasers flying down.
I kind of want to like throw a portal out there that's not in direct line of a beam, an energy beam, and then throw one in front of me and see if I can see where the lasers are coming from, like a mirror trick, you know?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that visual. So there's like a nearby hallway that seems to be empty of laser fire, but like opening a portal would give you another view area. Asimov, if you're spinning the team, how are you helping?
Scanning in areas to make sure that there's nothing near where he's putting the portal.
Okay, awesome. Cool. So yeah, that pushes it up to 10. What does it look like when you rip open a portal? What does the reader of this comic book see in the panel?
Okay, so it's a good example is at first you just see a little like a line appear in space, and it's kind of jarring, honestly.
And you're
And it's-
slicing this with your sword, or
Yes. So
Okay.
like I can I can cut directly in front of me, or I can kind of like, it's weird to just, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It's like throwing a cut, if that makes sense. So it
okay, so like let's say this is like you cutting open this portal is like 3 panels in a comic book. What do each of those panels look like?
Okay, so the first one would be me pulling out the sword and slicing directly in front of me, and a line appears, and light slowly starts to shine through until it opens,
Okay.
and it's like when you tear open curtains, and light just blasts through.
What color is it tinted with? What's your
Um,
color?
I would like to say like a fiery red, because it's teleportation. Teleportation's risky, so it's to show like it's not something that should be toyed with, but I'm gonna keep doing it anyway.
Like fluorescent neon red?
Yeah, so it's
Get
just it's a
that
very hateful
vibe?
red, yeah.
All right, cool.
And then the other one kind of just opens.
There's a nearby hallway that's connected to the hallway the lasers are shooting down. We see the portal rip open there. And then we have a
Sure.
panel of like the two of you like looking at your situation and through the portal and scanning.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
Okay,
get behind
so
that.
go ahead and ask 2 from the assess the situation.
Okay.
Looking through the portal, you can see in that same like blue-purple energy that was barring the windows, turrets that are built into the ceiling. And they're shimmering, like giving the idea that they're kind of not fully there, but they're blasting lasers down the hallways, just kind of wildly.
So my question, I guess, would be, you answered one of them, which is why I didn't say anything. I was gonna ask what here is the biggest threat, but seeing that there's turrets shooting frickin' lasers at me, I'm gonna have the answer to that one. So actually, who here is most vulnerable to me will be one of my questions.
You're seeing that these aren't covering all the hallways. With your portals, you could probably just get around a good bit of them. So probably the person you're originally going after if you can avoid the threats instead of engage like the turrets directly.
My other question would be, actually, Asimov, can you think of a good question? Because we're a team.
I might say what here is in the greatest danger.
With your scans, you're noticing that these beams aren't doing damage to the walls. They seem to be of like a frequency that is going to damage meat, but not materials. It's Al, like you in Asimov, as the robot, are probably going to be unfazed by these lasers.
Bring it on.
I'm going to jump to Asimov. What are you going to do?
So I'm going to confidently walk out into the hallway.
And as you do, the lasers on both ends of the hallway, like the turrets, turn to you, focus, and just focus all their fire. You can feel like, with your gauges, you see that the temperature of the suit is rising. Eventually, it can do damage. But you're fine to just keep walking through. What are you doing?
Do we know which direction we want to go?
The principal's office, which I assume would be towards the turrets, because why wouldn't he want to protect himself? But I'm not the DM, so I don't know.
So I think he said turrets are on both sides. As well, in any case, I plan to charge the turrets.
Okay. You run towards one of the turrets. Go ahead and roll to directly engage. You guys just can't roll bad tonight, can you? On a 10 plus, pick 2.
I am going to take something from them.
Okay. What do you want to take?
I want to just take off the parts that are firing.
I'm going to give you one better. You are not directly engaging the turrets. You're directly engaging the person controlling them. You can take control of these turrets.
Yes.
Okay. And what do you want your second one to be? Do you want to just resist or avoid? Because I think the surprising the opposition is just going to happen. And
Right.
I think that the turrets being taken is also an opportunity.
Yeah. So I'll resist or avoid their blows.
Okay, cool. Let me. What does this look like? How does Asimov take control of it? We've got you, like the panels of you charging the turret, and then
When he's standing beneath, he reaches his arm up, and it opens up, and some little ball comes sliding up and locks in place and lights up, then just shoots a light beam at it.
excellent. And then I think we probably get like a color shift to represent that you've taken control of them. What do you want that to look like?
Yes, they're now green. And also the laser that was shot was green.
Awesome. So we're gonna get a panel of Al. What's your reaction to all this?
Okay, so I see him kind of charging it. First, I'm shocked because why would he just run into there, you know? And then he's not taking damage, so me being smarter than the average bear, I'm not gonna charge after him because the lasers, you said they were passing through him, right?
They were hitting but weren't seeming to do much damage, like heating up the metal a little bit.
Ah, okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna try and risk following him just because I'm not made of metal. And I'm just gonna kind of like peek around the corner as they all take aim at him and just watch and see what he does, because I feel like I work better when I assess a situation and I can plan around it instead of just
Cool. So we get the panels of you peeking around. We see, Asimov taking control of the turrets, and then probably the little like waggle thing while they're focusing. And in the background of this panel, we're seeing the one of the walls of shelves swing open, and stepping out, we see a man, roughly 6 feet tall. He's in a dark gray overall, like workers' overalls, and around his head is in that same purple, blue energy, a like bulky robotic looking helmet. And on his name badge, he has the cleaner embroidered and like crossed out in red paint. He has it crossed out in red paint, and underneath is written the custodian. From behind his back, you see 3 like tendril arms, each one of like a very, very different looking alien technology. One's like clearly the like almost bio inspired Astron looking technology. One is this, that same purple blue energy, and one looks like it's kind of made of just scrap metal, and they are just sparking and snapping. And he just steps out from behind. It's like, I think we get a panel of Al spinning as they notice this. He says, "Well, if you're gonna take my tools, I'll handle you myself." And he starts running at you with like 4 fists swung back. What do you do, Al?
I'm gonna F it. I'm gonna put the sword into a position and I'm gonna charge at him. But if I can, before either of us is within hitting distance, I'm gonna cut a portal in front of myself and into the hallway with Asimov so that I just run through it and disappear in front of him and then close the portal as soon as I'm through.
Do you have Are You Watching Closely?
I believe I do, actually. Let me make sure.
Because that sounds like you were trying to mislead, distract, or trick someone.
Yes. I do have Are You Watching Closely?
And before we do this, we're going to take a step back, and we're going to establish team. I think we are entering battle against a dangerous foe here. So
Okay.
I'm just going to ask a few questions. Who is the leader in this situation?
Unless Asimov has anything to say, I would feel like it's me because I had the death threat. But like, I'm probably not the leader of the team. But in this current scenario,
Yeah, it's in this situation, who's leading?
I would
I would
probably
say
me.
Al, because he's the one who just saw the cleaner. I'm sorry, the custodian.
And he needed a rebrand when he went dark. Does the leader have influence over every teammate?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to add one. So, sorry. We add 2 to the team for entering battle. We're going to add 1 because the leader has every influence over every teammate. Al, what is your purpose in this fight?
Right now, probably just get out because I don't know a whole lot about this guy, and like, I don't want to go into it clueless.
Okay. That's about what's your objective here.
Well, I don't know about the helmet yet, but once I did, it would be to get that off. So it would not be to just run away.
Okay, so we're not going to add a team for that because it's if everyone has the same purpose, you add another team. Does any team member mistrust the leader or the team?
No.
No.
Okay. And are you ill prepared or off balance? I'm actually going to say no. You've had a bit of time to kind of adjust to the situation before the threat came up. So we were at 3 teams. Yeah, so let's jump back. Now that we have the team established, let's jump back into that move. Are you watching closely? So it's a roll plus superior. Okay.
I got 7.
On a hit, they are fooled, at least for a moment. On a 7 to 9, choose 2.
Let's do expose a weakness or flaw and then confuse them for some time. Because I doubt he knows my abilities already.
Okay, yeah, cool. So we get the panel view rushing towards, then cutting the portal, and then I think you're gonna we get you tumbling out in the same hallway that you had the portal in before, so right near Asimov. I'm going to expose this weakness or flaw in a moment. I'll bring it in to this, if you're okay with that.
Sounds perfect.
But yeah, Asimov, you now see, we get a panel of you seeing Al tumbling through a portal that's snapping shut behind. From the nearby room, we hear him just angry, explosively screaming, just, I'm gonna punish you for what you've done! And just smashing tables and just causing a ruckus. It's a grade A ruckus, if you will. What do y'all do?
Oh, that's why you portaled. I was wondering.
We need to gather more information about this guy. We can't just charge in. We've never seen or heard of this guy.
And I think at that, a table goes flying through a window into the hallway from the room.
Is the table on its trajectory to hit us?
No, it just smashes into the hallway.
Okay,
just a
cool.
punctuation of how angry he is.
Is his weakness wicked anger? Is he one angry boy?
He's a pretty angry boy at the moment.
All right, cool. So I'm going to turn to Asimov and I'm going to be like, we need to get out of his line of sight. We need to didgeridoo out of here.
I think I'm going to deploy Isaac to go and collect information about this guy.
Okay, what does that look like?
A slot opens up on my robot body, and out flies a tiny little helicopter, and it lands on the ground. 2 little legs that come out, and then it gives me a soldier's salute, and then flies back up into the air and just goes right over there without any communication.
Going where?
Over to where the table just came through the window.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, we get the couple panels that it's zipping around and scanning maybe. So we could probably you could probably get pretty technical with your questions. You can expect some pretty technical answers from that. So yeah, go ahead and roll with Superior. On a 7 or 9, roll. Ask 1.
What here can I use to end this situation?
Through scans, you can in scanning the arm that has the same energy type that's been turrets in the walls, you find that it's a hard hologram technology, and that a strong enough EMP blast seems like it can disrupt it.
Well, good thing I came prepared.
And I think at this point we get is Isaac coming back to give this information? It doesn't have a connection.
I'm connecting wirelessly to this robot, and so I'm assuming I'm connected wirelessly to Isaac as well.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to get an idea of the situation. Yeah. And I think
it might not work if I was there in person.
Right. I think as you're getting this information, as you're getting all these scans, and maybe you've had a moment to say something to Al, we get the custodian seeing Isaac, and then barreling out into the hallway and seeing the 2 of you at the other end of the hallway. What are y'all doing? Let's start with Asimov. Are you going to be focused on the MP thing?
Oh yes. I'm just trying to invent a name for it.
Yeah, cool. I'm just trying to get an idea of what's going on. Al, what are you doing? He's huffing and puffing to the end of the hallway.
So, like I was saying, I really like the idea. I've seen that this guy is angry, and that makes me giddy. Like I pee a little, from excitement.
Oh yeah.
And so my permanent goal now is I'm gonna think to myself, he's an angry boy, and I can use that to my advantage, because the angrier you get, the more mistakes you make. So at every opportunity possible, I'm going to teleport this dude, whether it be just to turn him backwards or to just to put him back into that room he was just in, just to make him feel like it's a Groundhog Day kind of effect.
Okay. So he starts running at you. Are you cutting open a portal that he runs through?
Yes.
Cool. I want you to go ahead and unleash your powers. So roll plus free.
No, that's not good.
Okay. So we get the panel. Of, where were you opening this portal to? What was your plan? Yeah, go ahead and mark potential.
All right. So my plan was to turn him around. So he would run into the portal and then run back into the room he just left.
We get the panel of him running towards you. You swing, slice open the portal, and then he skids to a stop. The made of scrap arm flies around the side of the portal, grabs you by the scruff of the neck,
Tits.
picks you up, and shakes you. I want you to go ahead and take a powerful blow.
Oh. Damn,
So roll plus the number of conditions you have marked.
Oh my god.
On a miss, you stand strong. Mark potential as normal and say how you weather the blow.
Okay.
He shakes you for a while and then throws you through your own portal. You hit the wall in the back in the robotics room, and then we get the panel of you however you want to stand up and be tough.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna make the samurai sword appear in my hand, and I'm gonna just, because you can't see my mouth or my nose, but you definitely see my eyes, and my eyebrows just go down. Like I'm kind of upset with this situation because those are my portals. You don't get to use them against me.
Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets and TP Hugh, and edited by Anthony Sheets. Anthony can be found on Twitter at Icy New Year or at icynewyear.com. T is the host of Incubator on Air, a new play podcast available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play. They can be found at T Huth Playwright on Twitter or TPHuth94 on Instagram. This issue was GM'd by me, Anthony Sheets. Blue Samurai is played by William Hendry. You can find him on Twitter at RockoutWill321 or Steam as Cypress Grunham. Asimov is played by EXPHP. You probably won't find him at itsexphp on Twitter, but it's worth a try. The music for this issue is Ouroboros by Kevin MacLeod. A link to the license in his website will be in the episode note. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or on Patreon at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes and recommending it to friends. Word of mouth is really the best way for us to bring these stories to more people. And thanks for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.